power gained by the Muslim Brotherhood and its allies throughout the Muslim world over the past year has also led to a growth in confidence. They call 2011 the year the dictators fell in Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, and Yemen. In 2012, they say, the monarchies are next. Jordan and Saudi Arabia sit on top of that list. And the Saudi royal family, for one, has wasted no time getting ahead of the game. When anti-government protests broke out in neighboring Bahrain last year, Saudi tanks rolled in to keep the unrest from spilling over the border. Then, after governments fell in Tunisia and Egypt, the Saudi royals moved to appease their own restless subjects with billions of dollars in new welfare and housing programs.
It is absolutely bribery. That's what it is. I mean, when this Arab uprising started, they start getting nervous.
Dr. Ali Ayami of the Center for Democracy and Human Rights in Saudi Arabia believes the royal family's days are numbered.
The Saudi people suffer from corruption, lack of political freedom, lack of religious freedom, lack of press freedom, injustice, no accountability, no transparency. So the same problem that led all these Arabs to take to the streets are in Saudi Arabia. So regardless of the bribes, and they know it actually, they are buying time. But they are not going to be spared the wrath of the people.
So what would that mean for America? Since World War II, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia have maintained an uneasy alliance based on oil.
We Americans have fallen in love with our automobiles, and they were impoverished and needed a source of revenue, and they had oil under their earth. Since then, America's reliance on Middle East oil has only grown. And from hand-holding to bows, successive administrations have shown deference to the Saudi monarchs. Author Sarah Stern says that deference has come with a high price. Her book, Saudi Arabia and the Global Islamic Terrorist Network, argues that from spawning 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers to spending billions worldwide to open radical mosques and Islamic schools, the Saudis have been willing accomplices to the global jihad. So here we have within the United States the same kind of extraordinarily anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, anti-Israeli, anti-American, certainly anti-humane materials that are being studied by young American Muslims. That includes the Islamic Saudi Academy outside Washington, D.C. Controlled by the Saudi Ministry of Education, the K-12 school has been investigated for using textbooks that teach students to hate Christians and Jews. Although the Saudis build mosques and schools throughout the West, churches, synagogues, Bibles, and Torahs are all banned in Saudi Arabia, the birthplace of Islam. The latest attempt to suppress Christianity came in December when 35 Ethiopian guest workers were arrested after Saudi authorities raided their house church. In the Muslim Brotherhood, however, the Saudis may have met their match. Brotherhood leaders received a warm welcome when they fled to Saudi Arabia after facing persecution in Egypt in the 1960s. But as the Brotherhood's influence spread, it threatened the House of Saud.
What they did is did the opposite of what the Saudis wanted them or expected them to do. They started some organizations for themselves in Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Gulf.
Al-Qaeda and other jihadist groups have also had a strong presence in Saudi Arabia. Yet the most immediate threat is Iran and the fear it could instigate rebellion in eastern Saudi Arabia, where most of the country's oil is located.
The vast majority of the population in the oil-rich region of Saudi Arabia, Khassa, are Shiites, and they could be directed by the Iranians.
Leaked diplomatic cables show the Saudis want the West to take out Iran's nuclear program by any means necessary. But Ayami says they face an even greater fear than a nuclear Iran.
Their biggest fear is to see the United States energy independent, or the West.
For now, a mixture of bribes, internal repression, and the West's oil needs has enabled the House of Saud to hold on to power. But as dominoes continue to fall across the Middle East, the question could be, for how long? Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News, Washington.